it's not going to be any different today, right here on the show. And that being said, let's try to see what's happening, some top 10 things that you should know this morning. Now, starting with this, the River State Sole Administrator, Vice Admiral retired Ibok Ete Ibas, has summoned suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Dr. Ngozi Odu, to appear before him over an official inquiry into appointments made during the governor's administration over the past 2 years. This was contained in a statement issued by the secretary to the state government, Professor Ibibia Lucky Worika. And also, panic gripped the Otobi Akwa community in the Tukpo local government area of Benue State on Tuesday evening following fresh attack by suspected herdsmen. It was gathered that several residents were feared dead, while numerous houses were set ablaze during the violent attack. And also, Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, has disclosed that the recent tariff policies by U.S. President Donald Trump is responsible for the recent slump in global crude oil prices. And I'll still update you about some of the things you should know before we go into the papers properly. Nigerian head rate rose to 24.23% in March, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has stated. A report by the Bureau said the figure was a 1.05% increase from the 23.18% recorded in February. The federal government has declared Friday, 18th April and Monday, 21st April 2025 as public holidays to mark the celebrations of Good Friday and Easter Monday, respectively. Announcing these on behalf of the federal government in a statement on Tuesday, the Minister of Interior, Olumi Tunjiojo, extended heartfelt congratulations to Christians across the country. And now, away from that, the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) said on Tuesday that militancy, kidnapping the federal and sub-national governments create jobs for the citizenry. It also advised that the government creates sustainable and not casual jobs which pay would not sustain a worker for a month. Now, 3 persons, 2 confirmed to be from the same family, are feared drowned in a boat mishap in Niger State. The incident occurred in the Lapai local government area of the state. It was gathered that the boat was overloaded with over 200 bags of rice and capsized about 9 p.m. on the fateful day as a result of heavy windstorm. When are we even going to learn? Because this is not the first time that something this tragic is going to be happening, especially in Niger State. Very unfortunate. Rest in peace. Now, the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has dismissed a suit filed by the Labour Party challenging the legitimacy of 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly accused of defecting from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Presided over by Justice E.A. Obile, the court ruled on Tuesday that it lacked jurisdiction to entertain the matter. Away from the courts, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has launched an investigation into the alleged 1.3 trillion naira frauds perpetrated through a digital investment platform, Crypto Bank Exchange, popularly known as CBEX, operated by a group of foreign nationals in collaboration with their Nigerian partners, reportedly collapsed on Monday, leaving thousands of investors stranded and unable to access their funds. And finally, the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde shed light on the rejection of coalition, alliance and merger proposed by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, saying the merger talks are unknown to the main opposition party. Well, 2027 looks really close than you can imagine. So a lot of politicking is already going on as regards that. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. And now, talking about keeping our fingers crossed, let's see what the papers are saying this morning. Just here, I have the very first paper that we would be looking at this morning. Now, flipping through the Punch newspaper, just before we flip through, we have the very big story here on the Punch newspaper. Interpol joins EFCC trillion naira CBEX probe. Yes, Interpol joins EFCC in 1.3 trillion naira CBEX probe, and a rider to that one is EFCC cracks down on other Ponzi schemes Police shot CBEX office. Victims recount losses. Victims recount losses. When are we going to learn? It is barely a decade that MMM scandal happened, and even after MMM, a lot of other Ponzi schemes came on board, and now it's CBEX. Let's see how this would go. But it's good to know that the EFCC is trying to probe this, but how far can they go to recover this funds? Now, Tinubu inherited economy on live support. Umahi is speaking in Punch newspaper. You can see that on page 26 of the Punch. Now, away from Umahi and his comment, now 2027, I have capacity to be president, says Makinde. That can be found on page 37. Of course, you can be whatever you want to be so long as you believe in that. Now, the governor of Oyo State is saying that he has the capacity to be the president. For context, you can check page 34 of the Punch newspaper. And now I see a large image here in the front of the paper. I see Sanwo-Olu inaugurates a courthouse for commercial disputes. Is that okay? That should be connected to the image that can be found in the Punch newspaper. Inside, I think that would be on page 6. Yes, and see, will petition NFF over dad's unpaid wages. Christian Chukwu's son. Sports update here on page 3. Go check that out. Now, Lassa fever kills 127 in 18 states. That can be found on page 26. And then the Minister of Health has been used as the cover, should I say the poster news for that report. For more details, go find out for yourself. Now, Hausa community backs Olubadan's removal of Sarikin Sasa. You would find that out on page 26 of the Punch newspaper. And no, we are not done reviewing the Punch newspaper. Let's see what's on the top. Now, just by the side of the label of the Punch, you see plateau killings, how militants attacked villages near major army formation. Victims, how militants attacked villages near major army formation. Victims are recounting the sad incidents or sad killings rocking Plateau State. Now, Defense Minister Service Chiefs review security strategies on page 34. That can be found here. Now, Federation account allocation falls third straight month to 1.57 trillion naira. That will be found on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. And finally, oil slump. Trump tariffs put Nigeria's economy at risk. Federal government. What's going on? You can find that out on page newspaper. Now, moving away from the Punch and out picking up another newspaper, we have the Tribune. Now, the Tribune is just atop of the Tribune. 2027 presidency. I am focused on mandates given to me by Oyo State people. Okay, now that is coming from the governor of Oyo State, Makinde. Now, in the previous paper, he was saying he's capable, and now he is saying that he's currently focused on the mandate given to him by Oyo State people. To find out more to that, go check page 13 of the Tribune newspaper. And now, moving on for the Tribune, we have food, non-alcoholic beverage pushed Nigeria's inflation to 24.23% in March. All right, that's a business headline. Go check page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Now, from the Nigerian Tribune, moving away from that, emergency rule is the biggest story. RAPS inaugurate 21-member committee on rivers oversight. RAPS inaugurates 21-member committee on rivers oversight. A rider to that is state government threatens NBA with legal action over 300 million conference fund. PDP World Chairman's Forum writes Ibas to halt unconstitutional appointments. That's on page 3. A lot going on in Rivers State, and that seems to be the biggest story for the Nigerian Tribune. Now, still in the Nigerian Tribune, we have FARC, FG, states, local governments share 1.578 trillion naira March revenue. Details of that can be found in 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. And now, still reviewing that paper, Lassa fever death toll hits 127. NCDC, Ondo, Bauchi, Edo worst hit. For details, page 3 can give you that. And our investment and securities Act 2025, engaged in Ponzi scheme, spent 10 years in prison. So there's something like that. Go check that out on page 22 to find out what the act is saying. Engage in Ponzi scheme and spend 10 years in prison. Now, U.S. 14% tariff has significantly impact on sector economy. That is the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. They are speaking on page 30 of the paper. Now, DPRA blames Trump's tariff policies for crude oil price fall. As Nigeria sees sharp drop in petrol imports, investors get 47 licenses to establish 1.75 million BPD refineries. All of these can be found on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And now let's review the next paper, which is the Daily Trust. Now, looking at the Daily Trust, what seems to be the biggest story from Daily Trust this morning is how thousands of Nigerians lost 1.3 trillion naira to scam. How thousands of Nigerians lost 1.3 trillion naira to scam. Citizens need financial education expert. That is the biggest story from Daily Trust. That can be found and 4 of the Daily Trust. And now moving on from that, let's have it from the top. We have Killings. Enough is enough. Northern traditional rulers seem to be blowing hot. Enough is enough. What is enough? You would find out on page 17 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And now moving away from that, prices of ginger, Gary, others push inflation to 24.23%. That can be found on page 17 as well. Now let's see what the other side is saying. Tinubu laying foundation for Nigeria's prosperity. Barral. To find out, go check it out. Tinubu laying foundation for Nigeria's prosperity. Barral is speaking, and that can be found in Daily Trust. And now from the bottom, we have a story that is coming, or more like an allegation from the former governor of Kaduna State, and Malam Nasiru El-Rufai. He says Nigeria moving backwards on that Tinubu. El-Rufai alleges ruling party only remembered Buhari after my defection. That can be found on pages 5 and 6. You know that the former governor of Kaduna State has been speaking. Well, to hear or me to find out what he said or more, go check out a Daily Trust newspaper. And now, finally, let's review the Vanguard. Now, looking at the Vanguard, we have the big story. Plateau outrage grows over killings. Governor Mutfwang apologizes. Apologizes to the masses. That can be seen on of the Vanguard newspaper. A survivor recounts ordeal. Nigerians dying due to Buhari Tinubu's incompetence. I beg your pardon. Nigerians dying due to Tinubu's incompetence. Atiku is speaking. Perpetrators must be brought to book. Kwankwaso is speaking. Killings in Plateau, an agenda by known group Jang. Okay, now ask Tinubu to convene expanded meeting in Plateau. Okay, still from Jang. And then Northern Khan condemns killings in Plateau State. A lot of condemnations and even apologies. But where do we go from here? You can find that out on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then I see big pictures here, about 2 pictures of people receiving awards, obviously from the Vanguard Personality of the Year Awards, which happened last Friday. Now moving on from that, Easter, FG declares Friday, Monday public holidays. Details of that on page 6. And then talking about the next story, PDP to Tinubu, Ondo not safe, declares state of emergency. That is on page 10. PDP to Tinubu, Ondo not safe, declares state of emergency. Seems like what is good for the goose is good for the gander, but only time would tell. Now, the next one on page 9, before you move to page 10, we have $1 trillion economy. NGE president talks banks to prioritize real sector lending. A $1 trillion economy. NGE president talks banks to prioritize real sector found on page 9. Taraba, Ondo lead as Lassa fever death toll rises to 127. Very unfortunate. That report can be found on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. And now to PDP governors. I can't be removed by some party man. The PDP has so much going on. While to find out what is happening as regards that position in the PDP, check out page 26 because Anyanwu is currently saying that nobody can remove him at the moment. Now, page 31, which is sports, is talking about the late Chukwu. Immortalized Chukwu Nwobodo charges federal government. Immortalized Chukwu Nwobodo charges FG. Wow, thank you so much for listening to the newspaper review here, or the papers as you would call it, on the Eagles Morning Rise. Now, remember, we are going to be having an analyst join us shortly, and of course, with you on the other side. Today, here on the papers, we will be holding approval for visit. So we shall be joined by an analyst shortly. So please sit back and keep listening to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja.
For so long, you've been silenced.
To assess Nigerians before we become politicians or before we become members of any political party. The kind of things that happen in Nigeria, this is so that you realize that we are really paying for our sins.
Speak your truth and be heard on the Eagles Morning Rise, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eagles 102.3 FM, your radio experience you can count on. For so long, you've been silenced. We have just found your voice. Take it. Use it.
You assess Nigerians before we become politicians or before we become members of any political party. The kind of things that happen in Nigeria, this is so notorious that if God looks down from heaven, you realize that we are really paying for our sins.
Speak your truth and be heard on the Eagles Morning Rise, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eagles 102.3 FM, your radio experience you can count. Eagles 102. We have just found your voice. Take it. Use it.
You assess Nigerians become any political party. The kind of things that happen in Nigeria is so notorious that if God, you realize that we are really paying for our sins.
Speak your truth and be heard on the FM, your radio experience you can count on. You've just found your voice. Take it. Use it.
You assess Nigerians before we become politicians or before we become members of any political party. The kind of things that happen in Nigeria, this is so.
Eagles Morning Rise, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eagles 102.3 FM, your radio experience you can count on.
Experience. You can also one day the Benue State government gave a strongly worded warning against unscheduled visits to this, and insisting that any group or individual planning such a visit must first obtain clearance from relevant authorities. This statement just came ahead of a planned visit by former presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi, who intended to visit internally displaced persons and also pay a courtesy call to the Tutif in the state. Now, Obi, in his response, expressed surprise and suggested the move may have been politically motivated especially after his attempts to reach the governor reportedly failed. Now, this development has stirred mixed reactions across the handling of humanitarian efforts. And to break all of this down and help us understand the layers beneath this controversy, we will be joined by political analyst Kang Kang Ati. Good morning.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
All right, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Pleasure to be with you.
All right, thank you so much. So now let's get things straight. How do you interpret this statement from the Banner State government, and of course the reaction from Mr. Peter Obi? How can you?
Lately, we have been seeing semblances of actions and acts that make it clear that we're descending into an authoritarian state. We are descending into a measure of lawlessness, both from the people and from government in power. So it is quite challenging that a free citizen, a national figure, an international figure, a business mogul, a former governor, a man of elite status like Peter Obi, will marauding headsmen who have killed them. By default, ordinarily, when somebody loses someone, you come and commiserate with them, share your goodwill with them. So it is common practice, even in the Africans, of one or two reasons that may not be very clear or obvious to us, which leaves us to speculate. It's very unfortunate how to further the causes of the masses, which leaves us to speculate. It's very unfortunate how to further the causes of the masses. And also he mentioned how visiting internet displaced camps and people who are distressed is a show of welfare and love for the people, something he has done before, including taking permission from former President Goodluck Jonathan to go to Haiti to go and offer relief services. So it is unfortunate that such a man is being misunderstood after decades of public service. So you can see that we have some challenges with deep understanding and the political coloration that goes with it.
Now, when you talk about a misunderstanding, now some people would say, some people interpret advantage of the situation in Benue.
It's unfortunate that we cannot separate politics from governance. His Excellency Peter Obi has been in the public space for decades. So it is not difficult to draw conclusions on his person, his character, and his mode of operation. Now, if anybody has been a close follower of activities and affairs in the country, you will know that he has been doing this year in, year out. Even in 2023, after the election was rigged against him, he moved to certain parts of the country, donating monies as acts of goodwill in Sokoto, in Kano, across different communities in the entirety of the country, in Kogi State. And now not just been to Plateau first, and he went to Plateau State. The governor received this person, which is actually pitiable, because for a state to act in this manner, this is the entirety of the paraphernalia of the state responding to such a character, a figure, an enigmatic figure like Peter Obi. In that manner, it tells you that there's poor understanding, there is a weak processing of the issues in between, and also a sort of maybe they are running away from something that nobody is sending. Why are you denying the man access to you? Why are you denying him access to the state? Because his coming to the state cannot be quiet, because he's a public figure. And it is not time for politics yet. He has not declared ambition for running for president. He has not shown any semblance of preparation. He's only fighting for his party. He even has more things to do in Labour Party than going around sharing love and sympathy to people who are displaced. Look at other political parties. What are they doing? They are angling for 2027, and the man is busy saying that lives matter, people are in distress, let's do what we can for them. So it is a miscalculation to consider it politics or a political maneuver. He does not need that. He's a crowd puller.
We go for this breather. Thank you so much, Mr. Ati, for joining us this morning. And keep listening to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. You can be a part of the conversation by sending us a message on 0909 700. You can call us on 090-7353-0044. But that will be after we pay some. Keep listening. FM Abuja.
Boomer, rich promo from Abuja Home Limited for their Broadwater estate and plots in Gwagwalada. Get 250 square meters for just payment. That's a whopping 81% discount, or go premium with 500 square meters for only 1 million naira. With our authentic FCT land document, you have no issues at all. We have a flexible payment plan for your Gwagwalada now, with green environment, accessible roads, power supply, guaranteed security, and lots more. Call 1-883-7426 0808 7472 3824 0808 272 3824.
Told you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira.
Get it Fridays 3 p.m. on 9844433 090-99844433. Hurry now.
Music,
You assess Nigerians before we become politicians or before you become member of it is also measures that if God looks down from heaven, give you sense.
speak your truth and be heard on the Eagles Morning Rise, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eagles 102.3 FM.
I'm Cassandra Unimbe, and I'm glad I'm Cassandra Unimbe. And I've been talking with a political analyst talking about Mr. Ken Ati, who has joined us this morning virtually. We are trying to look at what happened in Benue State between the Benue State government and former president. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Pleasure to be with you. I'm still here.
All right. So now to differentiate between governance and politics. Governance and politics. Some people would say that the Benue State Party. So at the end of the day, as much as it's about governance, you don't just get into governance without a platform. What would you say about this?
Thank you very much. Very much. Now His Excellency Hyacinth Alia is the governor of Benue State. He's the governor of the people in PDP. He's the governor of the people in APC. He's the governor of the people in Lebanon. The bridges he's building, the empowerment he's giving out will affect each and every one of them. Now
Hello, can you hear us?
Obi, in my mind, should have been received with Obi. In my mind, should have been received with both hands. Is he both hands? Is he trying to say if Labour Party people now decide to go and visit, they're trying to say if Labour Party people now decide to go and visit, the people cannot traverse the length and breadth of Benue now. Benue is open for business. Benue is open for all people. Benue is open for business. Benue is open for all people. He cannot single, even if it's sell of. I know how much I see brothers and sisters back home in the village. So we require any desperate help we can get, and turning Peter Obi back from it is very, very unappreciated.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ati. At this point, let's listen to some Nigerians. Hang on in there. Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello? 4450, so that you can be a part of the show or call as regards this topic of discussion. All right, now we have some of your messages here. This person says, for anybody to say that the visa will be or just normal hatred for his person, the Benue State governor was just plain priced. They said the governor is a priest. Chinonso from Suleja. Let's pick the score. Hello? Hello, good morning. Okay, I really don't know what's going on here. Okay, can you hear us now? Hello? Good morning. You're actually on. What's going on here? Now, the call is connecting, but it's difficult to hear anyone. One says, let's try to pick this call. Hello? Hello? Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello? Hello? I don't really know what's going on. I really hope that this would not come. All right. Hello? Hello, can you hear us? Hello? Hello? Well, let's take this message. It says, you want to pay someone a visit. He says your safety is not guaranteed at a particular point in time. How does that turn to a problem? Is your safety not important to you anymore? You can still find a way of doing your philanthropic gesture by not physically being present in the IDP camp. God bless Nigeria. Good morning from Sanusi at Suleja. Thank you so much, Sanusi. Let's pick it. I don't know what's happening. Hello? Hello? Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Hello? Okay. Oh my God. Now, I think that we are trying to get the engineers here. Someone speaking. However, the volume is really low. I wonder what's going on. Every time we pick the call, it's difficult to hear. Hello? Well, you can just send us a message. I think let's just manage with that until we fix this on 09073530044 is the number to please the engineer, if you can hear me, reach out. What something is going on here, if you can, 4450. Hello? Yes, good morning. We sincerely apologize for this disruption this morning. Well, we have a message. This one is from Samuel from Kuje. Good morning to you, my sister Cassandra. Good morning. Very much. You too. Now, killing in Plateau, Benue, and other parts of the country has been going on, not in this government. Very much. We appreciate you for joining us this morning. Now, this one says, good morning. If the state government says Obi shouldn't visit its state, then let Mr. Peter Obi send the money he wants to support them with to them at the IDP camps. We understand Peter Obi is doing indirect vote buying for Abbas, reporting from duty. All right, very big question.
Loud and clear, I can hear you.
Okay, so from some of the comments here, how would you react to this? Because one of our listener just expressed concern that if Mr. Peter Obi wants to give money, he can give the money and he does not need to go to Benue State physically. And another person is alleged.
It's unfortunate that some people see things only through Naira and Kobo. You know, it's a certain kind of mentality. This is a man who the only, mark my words, the only presidential candidate who gave a financial, he contributed the documents to show. And has been traveling from place to place across the region. It is his life to give, always giving and building and adding. That is what he does. That's what he has. Trajectory he has been here for decades. I'm talking about 1996, somebody buying a house in the US. It's very unfathomable for seeing that it's going to become He's trying to do all of the philanthropic acts he's doing. Show. Of course, we have been wired nowadays not to think deep or to think that there are people who can be that selfless. So
let's take this comment and then you react after that. This one says, "Good morning, Cassandra. I'm in Nasarawa State. One thing we must pick out of the failed Peter Obi visit to Benue is that the governor cited security concerns. The question is, the Benue State government, Benue State does under Tinubu now, if killings get out of hand, state can be Hundu. All right, now, sorry, let me just play this voice of some of our listeners. Listen, Ross, when it just gives a moment. Okay, right now, because it's actually from the same phone, we have a voice note. Let me see.
He wrote, "You will not see anybody." What was Obi going there to do? Was it bad? Obi have been visiting IDPs in camp. People have been killed everywhere. They have been killing people in IDPs. So if you're going there to visit them, what you say you will not see him? That's not a clergy. You must protocolized everything. The killing, let me tell you something. It's as a result of bad governance. The people in charge of Ogun State are not, as a result of bad governance. The people in charge of Ogun State are not, they're not capable. They're not capable. If I'm the one, I will stop this killing. I know what to do. I'm not saying they should give to me. If they can get the right person, please. Look at what happened yesterday. At the tribunal, the local government election tribunal, they nullified 9 local government elections. That is the part of the impunity. Is it easy for a state government to form a tribunal and the tribunal will pass judgment against him? It's not easy, but it happened in Benue State. It's only God that will help us in Benue State. No, we are helpless in Benue State. Killing every day. I am tired. God bless you.
He have visited Haiti. I wonder, what would you say, Mr. Ati? Hello? Hello?
Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm referring to the comment, saw the IDPs there, made a donation, gave them words of consolation, and left. Remember, his statement was very clear. He tried to reach the governor directly, he couldn't. He reached his ADC said he couldn't meet the governor for 3 straight days. Then, parts of the country, are people not moving through Benue State to Taraba parts of the country? Are people not moving through Benue State to Taraba State, to Adamawa, to Plateau, Taraba State, to Adamawa, to Plateau, up onto Abuja, or to Kogi, to Enugu, and out of the state? People are moving. So why is this specific to Peter Obi? And if Benue is actually unsafe, what are the security measures being put in place? Or is it only Peter Obi that deserves not to die, or his convoy should not be attacked, but the Benue people will continue to be attacked? So the point is, if they hold on and all of that, it would have been understood. But they say you cannot visit without the governor's permission, or the governor is not aware, and all of that. The tone of the statement tells you clearly the intention, and it is very, very clear that they don't want to have him in the state. They don't want to have any affiliation with whatever he wants to do, even though it is.
Okay, well, Mr. Ati, I think we have to listen to this message from Honorable Edward Tiope. Please hold on there.
Cassandra, good morning. My name is Honorable Edward Fonapo. I happen to come from Benue State. That's my state. I can tell you that what our governor is doing.
Explain, I can't hear.
I am disappointed. I'm shocked. Because we become silly God. It's a clergy. It's a clergy. You should understand what people are passing through. I am directly affected. As to speak, my people are not in the IDP as the man being there. So many over 30,000 were killed from my village. Has anybody been there? So if someone is what's and then we have constitutionally we have freedom of movement. It's unfortunate that it's to gentlemen like Obi. If I'm the one that have the right to go to anywhere, I'm visible. The Obi was following due process and can become insult. Must you protocolize everything, even as a priest? Must protocolize everything? It is unfortunate, disappointing. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Edward Chapev. Unfortunately, we had played his clip from yesterday. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. Now, this message says, "Good morning, Cassie, and your guest. Good morning to you. Your guest has spoken well, but to me, I don't see how the cautionary statement of the Benue State governor stopped Obi's visit to IDP camps. All he needs is to give advance notice. Benue State is very hot now, and it may not be safe for him as a popular political figure to visit without adequate security arrangement for his visit. By the way, I advise the government against ethnic profiling. Farmers' headers clash. I advise the people of the state to draw conclusions from those allegedly sponsoring Boko Haram and Lakurawa terrorists, but that they could be at work here. The same characters could be behind killings in Benue, Southern Kaduna, and Plateau State to destabilize our agricultural base. The killings should not be politicized, please." Yusuf from Suleja, thank you so much. We appreciate you for reaching out, Mr. Ati. We just have to listen to some of our listeners and then you react at once.
Good morning, sir. This morning. My name, talk your talk. I laugh my laugh. Baby bless from Otako. You see, issue. What of Udra? My mistake. What of my sister? Where they? Thank you very much. See, you see, issue of Benue State now what we are talking about. When we have the people where they represent us, the senator where they represent us, but if they don't say their hand no day, let them put call. Since when this they happen, one of their children not die one day. Their wife will they nothing touch them. The government must nothing touch them. What do we do? They are wasting those people life. And when the matter come, they don't go talk anything. Where Peter B go there? See how this man take the attacker. They say he hold her for mind. They know when we see the truth. They don't say when we go there we see the truth. We will not say their hand day. That's why they attack themselves. Why? Why is it be like that?
To the point, all these things, I would say it's politics. Because I don't see any reason, stopping P2P, His Excellency from visiting the IDP camps. It's nothing. He has been doing this for decades. So why deny him access to even one visit to say sorry? He went to Jos, which I guess there is even more killings. Even though life were lost, he went there peacefully. Then coming to your state is something else. It shouldn't be so. People are dying, and even the government of the day are doing nothing. So now it's easier to say, okay, let the National Assembly suspend Tinubu because he's doing nothing. He's in France enjoying receiving treatment, or he lied to Nigeria that he went for. See, the way we are now in Nigeria, we need a revolution.
Okay, well, at this point, I would advise we stick to the topic of the discussion. Now, Mr. I respond to some of these comments and also tell us. Now, somebody said something that why the governor has classified information and that if he was not given a visa when he was to go to Haiti, how would he have done it? Why is it so? Because it's Benue State or because it's in Nigeria? Why are we saying it's political?
There is freedom of movement, freedom of association. If the governor does not want to see Peter Obi, there's no big deal about it. You can only create a scenario and build upon it to justify it. That's not correct. Peter Obi can drive into Benue right now, politics or no politics. He can move anywhere. He can do anything he so desires. He's a free citizen. And in Nigeria, you don't need a visa to enter any state. You don't need express permission to enter any state. The challenge here is that he made an initial request through the ADC to the governor that he wants to meet with the governor, which is customary because he's a high-profile personality. He will meet with the governor, commiserate with people. He did it before, and he did it in Plateau. He has visited Benue before, under the days of the former governor. So there's nothing new or special about this. It's just protocol that he does that, and protocol has said no. They have played gimmicks around it. He's gone. The chapter is closed. But you see, the little that would have gone to the IDPs could not get to them. What he brought could not get to them. And Peter Obi visiting Benue would have moved the predicament of the people to national agenda status.
Some people are asking that his visit, is it going to stop the killings? Is it going to take the IDPs out of the camps? These are some of the questions from Nigerians on social media.
That is not his sole responsibility. He can help, he can offer counsel, he can offer advice. He can also be instrumental in bringing succor to the people by virtue of the donations he makes. The sole responsibility of removing the people from the IDP camps and stopping the killings is that of the governor. And how well has he done on that? Remember, he campaigned on 100 days he will return the people out of the IDP camps back to their homes, and he has an algorithm for that. It's almost 2 years, it has not happened. So deny him access to the camp. Now that he did not go there, have the people returned, and who is responsible for that? Listen, Hyacinth Alia is the governor of Benue State. He was voted in properly. He's legitimately the governor, and all the powers of all the executive powers in the state lie in him. Now we expect him to do the needful and also bring succor to the people. That's all. If Obi is coming and he's considered a persona non grata, fine, he's gone. Can we now focus on the real business of the day and remove the people out of the camps and also solve the problem? Peter Obi is coming to commiserate with the people who have lost their livelihoods, people who are in a terrible, dire situation. I am one of them. And that's why we would have loved to welcome him. Whatever he brought with him, we'll share with our people, no matter the succor. Imagine you're bereaved and you're receiving visitors. Will you be happy or not? That's all.
So much, Mr. Kenkeng Ati. You have really spoken very compassionately on this issue. However, time is not our friend, and we just have to wrap it up here at the moment. If you could just take in seconds and wrap up your thoughts so that we can wrap this session up.
I commiserate with my fellow IDPs. It's a sad day, it's a sad time. We hope that our fortunes improve, and we look forward to